When you're desperate, you accept help from places you never imagined. I never planned to get behind on rent. I never planned to lie to my husband about it. And I certainly never thought my landlord, tall, powerful, and intimidating, would make an offer that would ruin everything. But when the door closed that night, I realized I wasn't walking into a conversation. I was walking into temptation. My name is Haley. I'm 36. Married. A mother of one. My husband Aaron had just lost his job due to company-wide layoffs. I was freelancing and doing online work, but our savings were drying up fast. We lived in a rented duplex just outside Atlanta. The kind of place that was good enough but not perfect. And our landlord, Darius, well, he was hard to ignore. He was everything my husband wasn't. Confident, quiet, observant. A 6 feet 4 inches ex-football player with dark eyes that didn't ask questions. They demanded answers. And when our rent expired that month, I found out just how many answers he wanted. The envelope was taped to our door. 3 days overdue. One final notice. Aaron was on edge. I'll call my brother. Maybe he can help. I nodded, but I knew better. We'd borrowed from everyone already. So I did what I didn't want to do. I called Darius. He didn't pick up. But 20 minutes later he was at our door. Alone. Aaron wasn't home. Want to talk inside? He asked. I hesitated. Then opened the door. He sat down at the kitchen table, looked around. I'm not here to embarrass you, he said. But this is the 3rd time in 6 months. I swallowed hard. We're trying. I just need another week. He nodded slowly, then leaned back. What if I made you an offer? What kind of offer? One you could repay without money. Silence. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't joking. And I wasn't shocked. I'd seen the way he looked at me. And in my darkest moments I'd looked back. That night I couldn't sleep. Aaron held me, murmuring in his sleep. Trusting. Warm. I turned my back to him and stared at the ceiling. Darius's words haunted me. No one has to know. You get your rent covered. I get what I want. I didn't say yes. But I didn't say no either. I texted him the next morning. What do you mean exactly? He replied. Come by the unit I'm renovating. Noon. I told Aaron I had errands. And then I walked into a choice I couldn't undo. The place was empty. Dusty. The walls halfway painted. Darius stood at the window, arms crossed. He turned when he saw me. You came. What do you want? I asked. He walked toward me. Stopped inches away. I want you. Once. You walk away with no rent for 3 months. And after? There is no after. I stood frozen. Then I stepped forward. And kissed him. He didn't hesitate. His hands grabbed my waist. Mine found his chest. It was fire. Instant and uncontrollable. Clothes came off in seconds. We didn't speak. Only breathed. And then we crossed the line. Afterward I sat on the floor, dressed, shaking. He lit a cigarette. Watched me. No one needs to know. I'm married, I whispered. You were married yesterday too. I walked out without answering. But I couldn't walk away from what I'd done. Days passed. Darius didn't text. Aaron got a call about a new job. He was happy, hopeful. And I was crumbling. Because the guilt wasn't going away. It was growing. I ran into Darius in the driveway. He didn't say a word. Just looked at me. I followed him inside. We didn't talk. We just did it again. I told myself I hated him. But I hated myself more. Once became twice. Twice became habit. He'd text one word. Now. And I'd go. Always when Aaron was gone. Always when the shame was quiet. One day Darius kissed me softly. Not like before. Not just lust. Something deeper. And that scared me more than anything. Because I kissed him back. Aaron found my burner phone. He read the messages. He didn't say a word. Just packed a bag and left. Liam cried. I didn't. I just sat in the kitchen and waited for everything to collapse. Darius offered to let me move in. I said no. Not because I didn't want to, but because I didn't know who I was anymore. I needed space. To breathe. To mourn. It's been 8 months. Aaron filed for divorce. I live alone now. Darius still texts. Sometimes I reply. Sometimes I don't. But I don't see him. Because I know if I do I won't stop. This story isn't about villains. It's about weakness, desperation, loneliness, and what happens when the world pushes you too far. I don't ask for forgiveness. I just want to be understood. There's no neat bow. No happy ending. Just silence. And growth. I work now. Provide for Liam. And try to rebuild. One breath at a time. Last week Darius showed up. Unannounced. He stood at my door holding a bag of groceries. For Liam, he said. I stared at him. You can't keep doing this. Why not? Because I'm still trying to figure out if I hate you, or if I miss you. He didn't flinch. Just nodded. Maybe you do both. He stayed for dinner. We didn't touch. Barely looked at each other. But the tension hummed in the room. When he left, he paused in the doorway. I'm not asking you to come back. Just don't lie to yourself about what we were. And then he was gone. I stayed up all night thinking. Not just about Darius. About Aaron. About myself. How did I become someone who trades bodies for security? How did I learn to survive by breaking others? And how do I heal? I started writing again. Stories. Articles. Not about Darius. Not about betrayal. But about survival. And slowly people listened. They connected. And I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Purpose. If you've ever made a choice you can't take back, this story is for you. Not to justify, but to relate. Leave a comment. Share your thoughts. Subscribe for more. Sometimes truth hurts, but it also heals. And sometimes, the only way to forgive yourself is to tell the story no one else dares to hear.